Everyone shut up.
I've got the screen record on.
Oh,
Hell yeah, brother.
that was so appropriate.
That's funny.
That was worth it.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. Fire department shows up.
How was that? Nice?
That was good. That was good. You got a new intro now.
Nice. Smoky.
Morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing? Moto's running a little late.
Uh-oh.
He just texted me.
Did he get lucky last night?
I don't know. Maybe he was up late.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. How's everybody doing this morning?
Looks like you got, I see Rod Benjamin in here, the shadow. Hey, this is Sunday morning.
Yeah, and we got brown chicken too.
Oh, I didn't even see him over there. You've probably seen something I ain't seen. Oh, maybe I ain't caught up yet. Remember this, I don't have the internet, so it may let me know after a while. Oh,
Yeah.
we had a beautiful day yesterday. A nice ride. We left and we got about a mile or two from home, and the windshield began to get wet. Started sprinkling on the windshield. And I'm looking up there and I'm seeing clouds so thick. But I looked on the radar and it showed it's going to be clear as soon as we moved it out of this little area here. And sure enough, by the time we got to the freeway, it was cloudy all the way over there, but it no more rain.
Nice.
Yeah, I see the brown chicken in here now.
Well, at least it didn't rain on you till the end.
No, I mean, it only started raining as soon as we left the house, but then only like I say, only lasted for a mile or two, and then it was over with. We didn't even get wet. We was all tucked in behind the windshield.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of getting wet.
Not when you got a long ride ahead of you.
No.
The bikes were out in 3 and 4 in a pack. They was a bunch of good riders out there.
Yeah, that's good. It's getting hot down here. It's in the 90s the past 3 days. Low 90s, but still 90s.
Well, when we stopped over there we had to stop to get some fuel. And when we stopped, the fan was already running on the engine. So it was warm enough. I saw the temperature was on the air temperature thing was 80. So we knew she was warming it up quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
We met some really neat people over at the waterfalls. This young black couple, a man, woman, and a little girl. She had her little bubble maker, and she'd dip it into stuff and let the wind blow the bubbles out across the waterfalls.
Yeah.
Well, had my back to her, and I seen the bubble went right by my face, and when I turned and looked, that little girl was laughing because my head was just covered in bubbles.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, the wind just blowed them right over me. And that mama said, "Don't do it." She was kind of getting on to her little girl. I said, "Oh, please do it again. I want to get that on the video." And the daddy just laughed, and she blowed another big, and they just come right at the camera. I love
That's great. That's excellent. That's great.
seeing people out enjoying themselves and
Yeah.
just going the pleasure of just watching water go over a falls.
Good times. Hey Dave, how are you, man? Oh, I should be doing comments. I'm not paying attention. It's like my first day. I'm not putting comments up.
Well, hey, Dave, I just now got here for me. He's seeing stuff so much further ahead of me. And I want to thank you, Dave, for your nice comments. You made some really nice comments on my video.
I was sitting here dilly-dallying, and I'm wondering, like, oh, there's no comments. I'm just reading them to myself.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And there's Mr. Keyfob in there.
Keyfob, Dave, Rob Benjamin, Brown Chicken.
Well, I appreciate that, Dave. The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah. The truth. The truth.
Yeah, but
So today's
where she gives you money, she always says, "The tooth and nothing but the tooth."
nothing but the tooth. Keyfob's trying to wake up.
There's Sterling Wheel.
Morning, Sterling. What's going on? How's everybody doing? I'll hopefully go for a ride later or something. I don't know. Morning.
I think Sterling Wheel's he's talking about it 200 miles till he gets home. That's going to be like a 200-mile boner ride,
Yeah.
being going all that long.
200 miles left. That's good.
Maylene, hello, Maylene. Good morning, Maylene Anderson.
How are you, Maylene?
Well, I guess my sister had a really good birthday. Sick. She sent me a lot of pictures and well, every one of them begins to, everyone you add up, they all seem to have more significance to them.
Yeah, that's good. I just turned 53.
You just turned 53.
Yeah.
Well, in June the 30th, I'll be 85, so I'm expecting a big party. Hey, there's the Mondo.
That's the room talking about partying and
Good morning.
big times. Yeah, good morning.
What's going on?
I didn't see any comment from you yesterday, Moto, on my ride about my gloves.
I didn't even see it yet.
Oh, I show you my gloves. Make sure you see that I've got my gloves on.
You got a reminder? I got just the one.
That's Mom.
I got a dual pair. I was going to just start wearing, the other one that got stolen that we caught on film. I was just gonna start wearing that one around just for fun and kind of do the Michael Jackson thing, and
Yeah.
that'd be
You.
good. Yeah, I was thinking about you. We didn't see you last night. I said, yeah, he must have had a good ride, a good time, and partied out and pooped out by the time you got home.
Oh no! When we got home, I didn't have no internet, and I
Yeah.
struggled. And here's
Something.
what I did: I uploaded the
Yeah.
whole entire video.
Yeah.
After I looked at it, I said, "I'm not going to even proof it. Go over it and proof it."
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looked like it was all done. So I
Wing
in
it.
time to save time, I said, "Go for it." So I
Yeah.
put it in, I see I don't have any hits. I go up there, and what happened is my internet went off, and it stopped and put up a red explanation mark on the screen.
During the
I had to go
upload.
back and redo that whole entire video.
During the upload, it stopped.
Yeah.
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 Of
course.
Yeah. Well, YouTube
Yeah.
gods are great.
Buck's mom is here.
Pardon me?
Buck's mom is here.
Oh, hey, Buck's
That's
mom.
Marilyn. Marilyn is Buck's mom.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Buck's mom.
How are you?
What was I looking for? Oh.
I feel weird calling you Marilyn.
Mama Buck.
I feel like I should call you Mama Buck or something.
Yeah.
200 miles to Tulsa. Your president has made going home impossible. The trucking freight market has collapsed. Stop up now. Enjoy. Hey, Motobaum. Rob Benjamin. Ability to write songs. Yeah. Dave says you have a great ability to write songs, Mac. I like your songs too, Mac.
Did you like?
Stuff
Oh,
songs.
you may not have seen it yet,
Oh.
but I did the one about the wheels. I gave a little preview the other day on one of our shows about just wheels. Wheels make the world go around. Why not have a song about it?
Yeah.
I told you I styled it after CCR.
Yep.
Proud Mary, Big Wheel, and all
Proud
that stuff.
Mary.
Yeah. Huh.
The Proud Mary. Yeah. Pollen is kicking my butt every morning.
Oh,
I feel
me
like a
too.
slight
Yeah,
rawness.
tissue at hand.
Yeah.
A used tissue at hand.
I could use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You wouldn't think that there's a lot of stuff like that down here because it's nice all year round, but there's pollen in the spring.
Oh,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Everything has that film on it. The yellow film.
You want to hear about a screaming fit that I had? I have normally a screaming fit every day, and this one was during the ride. And Angelique said, "I saw you having a screaming fit because I was just." She said, "What's got you all touched off today? It ain't nothing unusual."
Burr under the saddle again.
I said, when we get over here, we're going to put the camera on the bike, right? Yeah. I said, "What does it need?" She said, "Well, you got all the stuff. I got the camera right here." I said, "Where is the little bolt that goes through? It's got that little knob you turn." She said, "Oh my God." I said, "It's laying on the desk at home."
Yeah.
And I said, "We're going to have to stop at a hardware and get me a bolt with a nut and a wing nut or something so I can put the dang camera on."
That's special.
I said, "I've been having a fit because I know I got to find a hardware store."
Yeah.
And then we're looking at my helmet. On my helmet is a chin mount that comes up and it's got 3 or 4 attachments on it, and each one of them has one of them friggin' screws.
Yeah.
Just took one of them out and then mounted it onto the bike, and we was good to go. I wasted a beautiful fit.
A beautiful fit.
Just wasted.
A beautiful fit. I wasted a beautiful fit on that.
Heard you screaming.
She loves it when I have a fit inside my helmet. She can't hear a word of it.
Yeah, that's the best time.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
the best, and you can edit it all out too. But you don't edit; you just let it wing, don't you?
Most time I let it wing.
Yeah.
I did on a ride like that. Now, I had to use up 2 complete those high long life batteries
Yeah.
just to get it done. Was that Mama Buck sitting in the background?
Knock.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch this. I got
oh,
Dave gave us a little preview yesterday of his video file from off his computer that was not even uploaded yet. So we had a little special run through. So I've been watching that.
you can see how heavy the clouds were and the humidity. Oh, we stopped over at Hardy's over there in Gadsden.
Lisa.
And
Lisa.
there at Hardy's, we had sweat dripping off of us
Oh, really? Yeah.
because of the humidity.
Yeah, I like the settings you got on your camera. That's real nice.
Yeah, it looks good.
That's just right above the headlight on the Callan.
Yep. Yep. You dangle the glove in front of the lens a couple times just so we knew it
but
was
you'll
really
see,
you?
when I got over to where we was going, Angelique popped off the bike, took a picture of me sitting on the bike with my gloves on my hand, and I turned my hands backwards so you could see the red, white, and blue.
Nice.
And I just squeezed the picture sort of in the middle of the video.
I'm just gonna skip through a few and
Sure.
Where's your still picture at?
It's
you were
right
just-
when I reached Nakalulu.
Yeah.
She got off the track and took a picture.
Morning, Carney.
Carney here this morning. Good morning,
How's it going?
Hey,
General.
Barney.
Got a truck there.
Oh my god.
Just what Sterling wants to see, another truck.
Yeah.
Hey, look at
See
that.
What's
It's a
See,
truck.
that Dollar General's everywhere. You notice I started off in the parking
Yeah.
lot, Dollar General.
Hey, yeah. They're out there in the country, just middle of nowhere, and I know he's excited to see that. Like we are. Oh, we got another one.
Yeah, I'm. Now it's only you're only a little bit away from where I ended.
You're still.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
right now fixing to turn on 211 up here off US 411. We're going to turn on 211. And
Yeah,
that
you're
goes
really
out there.
familiar with all these roads.
Oh, I
And,
was a truck driver.
yeah.
We used to go by milepost, but most people don't know what a milepost
Mile
is.
markers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I learned what they were out on the freeway, that would be something we'd always check because all the trucking jargon and CBs came
There's
into play
Jack
on.
that's where we eat right there at Jack's. But
Okay.
you can see there's the car. We're going to follow that car right into the park.
Okay.
I
Got
tell you,
music mixed in pretty lightly throughout the
Oh,
whole thing.
yeah, I got
Sounds
it.
good.
Yeah, dude.
It does.
The music runs from the beginning to the end.
There we are.
Watch this now. Pull him beside the red truck and
Hey,
red truck. See?
giving us gang sign.
Yeah, that's that's OG to the 4-0.
Yeah. Matt.
There's Nakalulu. There's the lady in the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Jesus,
just
man.
doing that little girl like, let me
She
do
was-
it, mama.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
It's passing you some bubbles. Look at that. That's cool.
And, if I was a kid, I'd be doing the exact same thing.
Hell
As
yeah.
an adult, if I'd have had it, I would have been doing it as an old man.
Yeah. That statue is cool. Looked like a chameleon for a second until I focused in. It's like, oh, it's a person.
Look, right, I've done this just for you right here.
Yeah.
Marlo. Look, if you'll see, I'll zoom in down here.
Yeah.
There's a man down there fishing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, there's the flowers right there.
A man in a spam is down there.
Yeah, that's right. You can look on the beach and you'll see the can
Yeah.
of spam laying right there in the
I
sand.
know.
He's cooking it in the can.
Kicking it in the
Hey,
can, spam.
I can make a song out of that.
That's what I was thinking. I knew that triggered.
There he is, right there. There's
Woo!
Marlo. If he knows there's one more foot, he's going to step off a ledge. Watch
He
it.
rock and rolling down there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it.
Is now $1.50
He's fishing and not catching. That's me.
unless they have 6 months revenue saved. That
Sterling.
means trucking companies will shrink another 60%.
That means, what did it say? That means what? That means trucking companies will. Okay,
Another 60.
just in general, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you sign up to get going back in and on the whole operation, it does that. Damn.
It's because of the economy and everything.
Too bad that
Yeah.
other place didn't work out
Employees.
where you were at.
But even the threat of a tariff that leads all kinds of uncertainty. You know,
Yeah.
the market is very unstable.
Yeah.
Rob's neighbor.
Brum, 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 brum.
Oh, I thought Rob's neighbor was in
He's
here.
beautiful. I haven't even got a cup of coffee. If you'd please excuse me just for a half a minute, I'm gonna go start one. Maybe bring another one for back here for later. I was supposed to go on a ride today, like to Orange. That was really good, Mac.
Thank you.
I'll
very
put the link for your thing out there in a minute. But supposed to go to a ride to Orange, which is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I don't know about somewhere in there, 2 hours anyway. Away, they have a new dealership that's opened up there in the small town, right on the edge of where the mountains start, basically. And I just couldn't make it. I had the invite. Yeah, I was supposed to meet at 9 o'clock, and I woke up at 4 a.m. after going to bed at 1, maybe. And, up till after 5 and couldn't go back to sleep. So
Really?
when I did, that's why it was hard to even make the coffee this morning. I was late for that, too. Yeah, I mean, I could have got up and got here, but I wanted to get a little sleep. Not be too grumpy. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
I don't get grumpy, really, but yeah. So I'm going to go grab a coffee. I'll be right back.
All right, man.
Oh.
I gotta disconnect that. That's annoying.
What is that, from your phone?
Yeah, I'm connected to the bump box
Oh, yeah.
because I was playing music.
Oh, I got something here, too.
And all my alarms are connected on that. It's annoying.
Yeah.
And it'll
I
go
can.
through there and it'll scare the shit out of me.
Let me try that.
Sugar is sky high this morning, yo. For I did not eat. I did not eat before I went to bed. It's at 274.
Let's see here.
That's high for me. I'm usually at 150. It's annoying.
Uh-huh.
That needs to come down immediately. I'm afraid to put any more in. Let me do 10 grams. 10 grams of carbs.
Granded. Yeah.
Use this sensor.
Okay. Hope that's better, Sterling. I'm going to go get the coffee. I'll see you in just a minute.
There we go.
Put a little cream in mine, okay?
Yeah.
He's got his New Jersey wife beater shirt on this morning.
That's the first thing I do is grab it. I either have a leftover cup from yesterday or I start a new cup in the morning.
I done had 2 cups already.
I know. I'm on my second cup already. Yeah. Yeah, I was up at 8, probably.
At least he's got pants on.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's Sunday. You're supposed to sleep in.
3 shots of whiskey.
It's espresso, please. Yeah, like I'm ghetto like that, brown chicken. I'll finish yesterday's coffee if it's left over in the cup. I'll bring it to bed with me and I'll wake up and I'll finish it. I know that's gross, but I just I don't even reheat it. I'll drink it cold.
When we went on a ride here a week or so ago, when we came back through the door, we'd been gone for 4 or 5 hours. Come back in, there was a cup that I left on the desk when we left there. I reached over and grabbed it. She said, "You going to drink that?" I go, "Yeah. Why waste it? It's good."
Yeah. Every time I do a shot, someone teaches me a lesson. They're like, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, God damn it. Oh, I never have good experiences when I do shots. Oh, I got to let the leg Jade in. She's crying.
Dave, why don't you come on and get on here with us this morning?
Come in. Come on.
Oh, that's right. You have guests. Let me see. Yeah, you're late at night over there. I mean, you have to keep your voice down.
Good girl, Amy. Unnecessary. You want your medicine away? Yeah. Go away.
Yeah, it's Sunday night for Dave there. A big old a big mug of hot cocoa would be just fine. Make you sleep good. Hey, Robert. Good morning. Oh, Robert, your wife, she watched one of my old videos about when my Angelique and I, we trimmed the hedge out from around this lady's house, and she got a big kick out of that. You know, we're using the chainsaw and the hedge clippers, and we were putting on one of our shows. You remember that moto when I trimmed the wrong hedge? I went to the wrong house. And I cut this person's all the hedge right down to the ground, and I get a phone call. They go, "When are you going to get here?" I said, "Hell, I'm already here. We finished the job already." "No, you ain't. I'm looking at it. It ain't been cut yet. Get over here."
The neighbor's house. I didn't know you had a cat. You're at the neighbor's house. Oh, Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that was a name, Uncle Buck, we went by for so many years. In fact, Connie's son started calling me Uncle Buck. We was at the Sheraton over there at Fort Worth, a great big old hotel complex. And when I came in, I just had a bunch of dirty clothes in a black paper, one of those garbage bags, because I used them up on the road and had all these clothes in there. So I come to the door with a big bag full of dirty clothes ready to be washed.
Yeah.
Uncle Buck.
Here we are. No doubt. Well, yeah.
Oy.
Yeah, a little strong medical intake there.
A little bit.
Cleaning the flu.
I'm calling it at 8:59.
8:59.
Our patient, we just lost him. 8:59.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I'm calling it.
I was like, damn, it's past 9 o'clock, Mac. Well, not there. It's what? It's just now 9 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you called the actual time for your area. I got you now.
8:59. That's right.
It's only my third sip. I went back to back with 3 sips. I'll be okay, right?
Be all right.
Oh, he's alive. He's still with us. I heard him speak.
Yeah.
It's a miracle, I tell you.
Raising the dead today, Mac.
Oh man. I usually am raising hell, but now I'm
raising the dead. Yeah.
Raised the dead. Sick. I raised sick.
Chocolate for you, bedtime. Yeah. I've been watching your vid, man. Went through it about second or third time. Well, I fell asleep a couple times, not because it was boring or anything. I started like 4 a.m. this morning, watched what I could, and I guess I fell out, and so I restarted it and did it again, and because I knew it was a big
I watched it.
Production he made. Yeah. I can't believe how flat and how open and huge that sky looked on most of that ride. It just like straight on going. No S curbing.
Yeah, no,
No
Montana
nothing.
doesn't have nothing on Australia when it comes to big sky country.
Jeez, I'll say that's long and flat too in areas to the mountains, but
One of the greatest pictures I've ever seen was Ayers Rock at late at night with a starlit background. It was
Yeah.
done like in a little bit of a time lapse. Man, it was spectacular.
yeah.
It's like you could see deep into the heavens.
Let's see.
Night, Dave.
Is he actually going now?
That's what he says. 10
Yeah.
p.m. now.
Yeah, it's
Night,
bedtime.
Fine. I was gonna flash your video, but fine.
Hey, Robert, you're not alone on weird dreams last night. Did you read Robert about gangsters and sters? And I had an
Yeah.
exact dream I'm talking about. It just was so intense. Oh,
Well, we had
I
yard
ended
work
up in a
on.
bad.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah, in my dream, I woke up in a bad
Yeah.
place where nobody would ever want to be.
No.
That's what I love about a dream. You can always come
Yeah.
back.
Usually, like I'll never forget the one. I still remember it because it was so weird, and I was hiding like people did. Like I must have watched too many war movies, like say like Full Metal Jacket and stuff like that. And you remember the sniper? She was like, what was she, Vietnamese lady, and shot all those
Yeah.
soldiers they were trying to get through. I think it was kind of traumatic watching some of that and how that all went down. And that pushed me to have a video. Have video. Yeah, I had a
Dream.
video running in my brain,
Yeah.
them dream videos. And I was hunched down and underneath stairways like in a cellar and was hiding out. And that whole same atmosphere was there. And it was like I had this other life I didn't know about that was being played out in a wartime thing. And it's kind of interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's back when I was investigating dreams and wondering about dreams after I got all kind of like clean and sobered. I was just curious about everything that was spiritual and, all that. Hey, you can learn something from this stuff and doing that, but you got to be careful where you go.
Did
You
you
know?
read
Moto life. Good morning.
Yeah, like Ouija boards and stuff like that. I never did any of that, but that they say you got to be careful because it'll open you up, like Frog says, opens you up to different spirits and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
When I started investigating the dreams, and I'm having ones like watching my kids fall down 3 stories and hitting bushes and just getting saved by the skin of their teeth, and I'm down there freaking out and like, when family members start having weird.
That's crazy.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop thinking about them, stop waking up and writing because I was writing them down. I was trying to learn things, but that just promoted and provoked more. Yeah, where I didn't want to go. I didn't like those experiences because mine were still probably tainted from, recovering from what I was in, which was kind of a living hell for me anyway, when you're piled up in addiction and shit. So
did you read this from Robert?
No.
I did. I was telling him I had the same dream last night. Not about what he's dreaming about. I happened to be, I got into a house. I was making a delivery. And there was a hit going down on the guy that I was delivering to, and I had to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And since I saw something, they now got to take me out, and I'm knowing death is going to come any minute. They started out by shooting me in that, not with a gun now, with a compressed air gun full of paint. They shot me in the ear, and I remember my sound going away, and I could hear no words. I went, man, what a scary
paint
damn
poison
thing.
would come in and kill you, but in a weird way, just as
big
fatal.
blast of that paint right in the ear.
Gonna paint the
Being in the
town
wrong
red
place
today.
at the right time.
Yeah. Must have been the right place. Must have been the wrong time. I wish I knew what that song was. Mentioned that to Buck. He never heard of that either. I know some of you have.
I've heard of that song.
Yeah, back in the 70s.
Who does it?
Yeah.
Is it Steely Dan?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they,
Ray Moto wants to know if there's a free AI. They are a AI site that you can get video clips.
haven't seen
There's
it.
quite a few of them. They're usually about a minute long if you just need an intro.
Yeah.
Not Pixabay. I'll think of it. I'm a member of it because I use scenes when I used to do musical videos. I
Yeah.
used to do musical videos for people, and I would get these scenes
Oh,
and
wow.
put them in various places in the movie, in the video.
I didn't know you.
Yeah, you can go get the scene exactly what you need. Like if you're
Yeah.
talking about a drunk guy, you just type in, "I need a drunk guy," and there will be drunk guy scenes lasting
Yeah.
1 minute long. I
Wow.
need a race car scene. There's a race car scene. You can pick out which one that suits you the best.
Yeah.
Morning, Ray.
Yeah. Just liked your live. I just gave your live a thumbs up. They're sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just waiting for an attaboy over here. Oh, man. Thanks, dude. No, what are you telling them that for, Dean? I was actually opening your live up so I could drop a link in there a little easier. And yeah.
What's up, Robs and Eva?
I was
Carrie.
going to put Old Mac's new show up in there. I'm going to try and get the title here. There we go. That's so nice. You include her in most of the Angelique in most of your titles and whatever you do. And
She's
it's going to
her
always
and I
be
have
there.
been together in this venture of motovlogging since day one. You know,
Yeah.
since we got started. All those years before, I never had a rider. Occasionally, somebody would ride with me,
Yeah.
but not an everyday rider.
You call it doubling. I learned that
that
yesterday.
was
I'm
so
just
cool.
kidding.
Yeah,
You're
doubling.
fine. Yeah, remember that Angel brought that up, and I was like, "What the hell's doubling? What do you mean? You hit somebody in the gut and they double over?" Or, I haven't been out doubling lately. And I was like, "Oh, you mean it's motorcycle related?" But I didn't know. I never heard it called it doubling. Like, got a rider, you know.
First thing I was thinking when she used the term doubling, I was thinking of menage a trois.
Second floor balcony. Long story, Phil. Yeah.
Do you get that sick?
Yeah.
That's crazy, Rob. Sorry, I was reading Rob's thing and missed what you were saying, but that was similar. We had similar things. And you see, we actually, when that happened, I had that, what I think triggered that is the guy I was in recovery with, he broke his leg because he fell off two stories out working and thought it was going to kill him. And we went and checked him out in the hospital, and he had, fractured femur and leg broken a few places. He was all laid up, and so of course I had a dream similar, I guess, at some point, and reflected on that in the dream, and was a family member, it's like, holy, and I couldn't get down the stairs. I wanted to get down fast enough to catch them, just like those tornado dreams I was telling you, I'd always get chased by those, could never take cover. I could never save my family. I could never run and hide like we were taught when we was kid,
Yeah.
Because I remember getting that alarm. Mom said, we got to go, get downstairs, get in the well, because we had a well outside the house. So we had a chunk of block, in the foundation in the basement knocked out. And you went into that little dungeon where the well was. That was always nasty. We kept the potatoes in there and different stuff in gunny sacks. And I was always afraid of snakes and spiders and shit when I was a kid. You had to get in there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything is creepy. Those things, I guess, get in your memory, and then they turn wacko sometimes.
Yeah.
Mold into other dreams.
Ray Moto Life, when you mentioned Leesburg, we have a Leesburg here in Alabama. And when you go to Little River Canyon, out from Gadsden, you go out to Leesburg, and then you go into the Little River Canyon complex where you can ride for miles and miles around the canyon.
Yeah.
And when I saw that first thing that popped up about Leesburg, I went, oh, I got to go see that because I've been to Leesburg. I get over there and I see all the palm trees. I realize it ain't Alabama. I tell you that. So it had to be Florida.
What did I post? Good God. What did I copy?
Yeah, I didn't go over there. I don't have any money, Ray. I mean, I'm broke. I'm broke as hell.
Okay.
I don't have any money in the bank. I got like $4 in my checking account and like $3 in my savings account.
You ready for a can of Spam?
Yeah, I'm ready for freaking I'm ready to go down the freaking 7-Eleven and be like this.
You got to start sick. You got to start saving your money, buddy, and don't even think about going places and stuff like that because you got to
Mhm.
buy a new back tire from smoking that rear wheel out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get a tire pretty soon.
2 of them.
Down the road, yeah.
That's right, both bikes.
Yeah.
Oh, show out.
Yeah. Anyway, that link there, I don't know. Hopefully it works. Let's see if it does. That was for old Mac's new video, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Go watch
brother.
him. Give it some, give it the magic touch, you know. Yeah, no, it's just good. Look like it's going to be good. I haven't watched it yet, so I can't say. But it's from old Mac. It's going to be good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No, I know,
Very
man.
nice.
That's special.
Miss Wannabe Farmland. And she's the one that watched my older movie that I done last year. I did it, sometime last year, back in the summer last year. And
Fob.
we had so much fun doing that.
Stuff like. Come here.
Fob really bats it on home, don't he, sometimes, huh? What a savings account.
What's the say? Yeah, what's the savings account?
Yeah. What a savings account. I was just asking Robert. Hell, man. Oh. Been busy out in the chicken run anymore, Jess? Jessica, good morning, Ray Moto Live. What's happening up in the mountains? Staying groovy up there?
Yeah, we
I don't think so.
we put that together. That's my sister's house, and she's up in Washington. Her husband passed away, and she's in
Hey.
Washington, and her place has grown up because she has to settle the estate, and she's been up there for a number of years now doing all the paperwork and stuff. And so instead of letting her house just
Yeah.
grow up like that, we went and trimmed it all back for her, but then we just put it on as a show, like we had accidentally went to the wrong house and cut down.
Oh, that's great.
Accidentally on
And she
purpose.
thinks that was funny. One that me and old Joe done out there, we had people actually writing me notes telling me that was wrong what I did to let that boy leave my house that drunk, smoking dope and drinking whiskey right out of the bottle. I let him right off. It's shame on you, Mac.
Shame on you.
Oh yeah, that lady
Yeah,
up in
you're
Connecticut, she
responsible for
really
him.
hammered me good.
That's funny. Yeah, you're responsible for other people's
Today's
crazy sickness.
Today's April 27th.
Close, maybe. Yep, it is.
Yeah, it's the anniversary of my mom's passing.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Buck just had one, a week ago? Anniversary. That's Mama.
my mom.
Right on.
Before she started looking sick
Yeah.
with Leia.
Oh, that's your mom?
Yeah, that's my mom and Leia.
Yeah.
Bless her
That's
heart.
7 years ago. I can't believe that's more than 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Leia's
Yeah, nice lady.
Yeah, she's good. She's a great woman. We're too big.
That is big. That is big. And like every
Very
time
big.
that comes up, I'm like, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
All I had was one eyeball sticking out.
Yeah. Well, like one eye around the corner. I don't know what that setting's for. Really amplify you and bring you on home, I guess.
I really appreciate people that take their time to go down through and look at. I got videos that goes all the way back to 2000. What is it, 8 or 9 or when the company this YouTube became a company in 2007. We joined them the year they started out, but I didn't have my first video up for not under this name. I had videos before because I used to be N7DRR. When I changed my government call letters, they started me a whole new profile. So my
I never
videos
knew
go
that
back.
in the readings. If you change your name, they shouldn't.
Yeah, I sent Dave, I believe, an N7DRR. That's a FCC call letter.
Yeah.
and I sent it to, I think the tags on my car was N7. We didn't change that until 2006.
Huh. Look at dog. Huh. I wasn't in the run lately. It was raining yesterday, so I stayed inside. Yeah. The run is not the place to be when it's all soupy. Just went out to feed the chickens.
Just like magic, Sick, a cup of coffee appeared onto my desk.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
You did what to your...
The little coffee fairy delivered me a cup of coffee on my desk.
Oh, yeah.
That's something else.
Did you have to do any... Did you have to knock twice on the pipe? Or...
No, I didn't even have to resort to the phone or nothing.
Nothing. Just shows up magically. That makes it extra fairy-rific. Just made that up. Rest in peace. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Mayhem.
We built a fire last night.
Both my parents passed in April 3rd and April 27th.
Yeah. I guess it wasn't Buck's parent. It was his wife, wasn't it? Like a couple weeks ago, week or two ago.
Yeah.
Anniversary.
Or no, his wife's birthday, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well, something significant that, yeah, you know.
I don't want to say that because I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, me neither.
I went up to the hospital when Mom was in critical condition, and I took the camera and I got her to talk, and I had her to speak to everybody that she could speak to, and speak of, and things that she wanted to say.
Yeah.
And I made a little. Some people say, "Oh, you made a video of your mom." I didn't make it the moment she was passing on, but I made it before she did pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the grandchildren and the great grandchildren could see she was a strong woman to the end.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be, I don't know. I didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, I know.
That's in my brain. I go like, that's got to be a weird moment because when you think about it now, like the state that we're in now, we're alive, you know, and we don't have any expectation of, you know, passing coming along, you know. So I don't know. That just sounds terrifying. So that's just my thought. I'll just leave all this. I'll leave all this joy right there.
The recent passing of the Pope, you know, I was watching a little bit of it on TV, and it's just so amazing how different a person looks after they've passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soul and kind of leaves.
Yeah. It's just so different.
Empty. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Empty.
Yeah.
That's the word. That's
The
word.
tenseness and the muscles in your face relaxes.
Yeah.
You become more pleasant because you don't have the anguish of the pain you're suffering before death.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And when the face becomes relaxed,
Yeah.
it is a peaceful look.
It could be. That could be. Yeah.
Yeah, at almost 85, I have a lot of thought about death. You know, I mean, not because I want to think about death, but everybody says, "Man, you've lived a long time."
Yeah.
You know,
you get reminded of it every day.
I'm constantly reminded. Like, man, you're still here. Man, I'm telling you, I've never known anybody that old ever. I mean,
anybody who chipped on the first wheel.
Well, I'm still alive. Well. You don't mind if I take a picture of you, do you?
Yeah,
no.
Just in case.
I got to show my grandkids there's somebody this old alive.
Yeah. Oh, mercy. Oh, we're all right there in line. You don't have to wait around to be old to get whacked. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know, yesterday out riding your trip, you know, you're blessed to be back
how many
here.
times did I asked Angelique, I said, did you count the times how many close calls we had? She said, no, I don't never even count anymore.
Yeah.
But she can tell when it's really bad when I do the motor blipping, you know.
Yeah.
She might be even in a dream state back there, and
Got
all of a sudden
angry
she
real
hears that, and she knows that we've almost had a close call.
Yeah. She's probably back there praying the whole way, man, at times. So hopefully she's just back there relaxed, having a
Can you
good
imagine
time.
the horror of riding at 80 miles per hour behind a damned 85-year-old guy?
Yeah. And there's
would
that,
that would
right?
scare me.
Dude, I told you we went up in the pontoon plane in Minnesota, like 40 or 50 bucks. I don't remember. Me and my cousin, we were really young, probably about 25, 27 years old. Let's go for the ride. You know, we get to go up in Minnesota, go look above the lake. And we was up in the northern part where they have huge lakes, not just a bunch of small ones. And we decided to do that. And the guy was like close to 90 years old. And, you know, we were, you know, before we went up, and then we started thinking about all that stuff and up there, and we were doing like the same thing, you know, making kind of wise cracks and poking fun at ourselves, not to him, of course, but you know, what happens if the guy goes out? We're up there in the plane like some couple idiots right now. We're feeling a little dumb. And then we land on the lake on pontoons, which was so cool. That's what we wanted to do, you know, because you don't get to do that kind of stuff very often. You know, I've been in small planes and landed on wheels, but to land on a lake is a different thing. To me, it was.
Yeah, I landed on a dirt runway up in British Columbia, a
Sketchy.
downhill dirt runway. And then when we took off downhill, and at the end of the runway was a 300-foot vertical drop down into a canyon. And when we went off the edge,
Once you start,
the planes it sort of went down and
Yeah.
got gripped by it began to get lift on the wing. And when
That's
I
a
looked
big
out
deal.
the rear window, the bluff was above us. That's how far we had dropped.
you
So
know,
we pulled out
those
of
are-
it.
those are the runways. Once you commit, you got to be committed. There's no like, oh, I think something's wrong. I'm going to slow down, check things out, and we'll take off again another time. You know, that's not in the equation. And Black
Ray
felt
Ray
like,
Moto
no.
Ray Moto Life said he's never been in a plane.
No. I don't know if Retired Rider has either. Remember, he didn't want to go up in one. Maybe he'd been in one, but he just wouldn't go flying anymore. I don't think he has ever been in one.
There was a huge aircraft. I believe it was a KC-97. It was a big old
Yeah.
prop airplane. It's double decker. It's
Yeah.
a huge KC, a cargo plane.
Yeah.
And my buddy was in the 101st Airborne. And he was up in Indiana,
Yeah, man.
and they called him and he said, "Go over to the airport and you're going to load onto this. We're testing a new concept." And
Yeah.
when he got over there, he was in the upper deck, and up at the front, the stick moved forward instead of back out the back. It moved
Yeah.
forward. You had two sticks on troops, on a cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when he got up there was a pole, and you just reach and grab a hold of the pole. You slid down the pole, you slid through the second deck and out through a hole in the bottom of the craft so you wouldn't be in the
Wow.
slipstream. And he said that was the wildest ride he ever took going down that pole.
You just
Just
drop
went
out
down
like a
Yeah, and your static line stays behind.
yeah.
They grab a bundle of them and pull them back in, and another stick comes down through there.
Yeah. Exit
They're
a
jumping out
Cole.
of it. By using like a fireman's pole, to come down.
Yeah.
Just grab a hold of it and
Huh.
Oh, yeah. Just about time for the second cup. It's behind me. It's on deck.
It's
Not
on deck.
Bucks. It's not Bucks, but it's on deck back there.
Oh man.
Wonder how Buck's doing today. Sterling was here earlier. He must
Yeah.
be driving. Was he out driving? Is that?
He said he was trucking
yeah, he's
Yeah.
remember what did he say? 300 miles.
Trucking.
200 miles or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Trucking.
300 miles. He's going to be home, or was hoping to get home.
Yeah, is it that time already?
But with cargo changing so rapidly right now, he may not even get a chance to go home then. I
Yeah.
hate to say that.
So you do the complete controls, or were you just kind of like I guess if you were getting taught, you had somebody there with you. You weren't like solo flying choppers, but that's a big skill, man. That's awesome. Kime does it. If we ever get him around, we'll talk about that and pull up a video. I think we did one time of him flying a chopper. That's neat stuff, man. So you have flown, just not a plane. Flying
My buddy
high
Brandon
again.
flies.
Hey,
Just got
2-4.
certified
Whoa,
for
look at there.
Huey's. He flies for the state of Washington, I think, or Oregon. And they net elk and tag them and stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
what a great job.
no
Yeah.
doubt. Huh?
It's pretty cool, dude. He's got some crazy videos, dude. He's close to the ground. He's got to pay attention to where the elk is, where his altitude is. And dude, he's like 100 feet off the deck.
Yeah, there's no daydreaming.
There's no daydream.
Thinking about last night, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's
Yeah.
an oak tree.
And sometimes they gotta tranquilize them. You know, they hit them first.
Yeah.
They hit 'em with usually they'll hit them first with a paintball to mark
Yeah.
them.
Oh, 2-4. How's your health been feeling? The old heart doing well? I know you're changing your lifestyle a little bit for a while. Just thinking about you, man. Hope it's all going good. Carrie says, I love the chopper and took a lesson once to realize there are too many inputs for my brain. Yeah, I bet. But there's a lot of focus that goes into that. Kind of like riding your motorcycle through heavy traffic. A lot of inputs have to go through your brain. And it's probably way more difficult. But,
I tell you, I've done some things similar to that. I've rode my bike with my controller for my drone hanging around my shoulders, and I have actually flown the drone manually, not put it in auto. You can make them where they track you, and you can tell your drone to go out in front of you and look at
Okay.
you as
Yeah.
you ride to it, and it always stays the right distance away. I have actually flown mine while riding my motorcycle.
I was wondering why
Well,
people
full
don't do
stick.
that.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, why don't they just have a tracking thing where it follows you around? You know, most
They do.
people are off
It
there.
does.
Mhm.
You've got that. You can program it where it'll go up 50 feet or whatever amount of feet you want.
Yep.
And it'll follow it'll follow you. And it has the ability to pick your face out in a crowd of 1,000 people.
That's a lot.
That's the kind of electronics that's in the thing.
Whew, ready to
It's
smack
called a
you.
unique
Good Lord. That's high tech. I'm
Unique
sure military
Typhoon
use
8.
stuff like that, huh? Big
Yeah, I took
time.
my unique Typhoon 8s to
Ooh.
Myrtle Beach and flew it all the way out 4 miles out to a hurricane that was coming to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
And I realized when I got out there, I was gonna be riding the winds against me coming back, and I'd almost run out of battery. In fact, I
Yeah.
landed at the edge of the water. It was already
Wow.
in fail-safe landing mode, and it landed just feet away from the edge of the water.
Man.
That salt water had got it.
Yep.
That'd have been $3,000 just gone.
Ouch. Yep. Goodness. Ray says he took classes when I moved to Florida. When I was 19, I wanted to fly the tourists over the ocean. Yeah, it's big aspirations, or whatever you call it. Dreams. Interesting. Never thought of that. When I grow up, I want to fly tourists over the ocean in a helicopter.
Yeah, choppers bug me out, man. Moving parts, a lot of stuff can go wrong in a chopper.
Yeah, Jessica said thank you, sick.
Oh yeah, no problem.
How about those
That's
tourists up
actually-
there in the Hudson River that, I mean, they ended upside down in a heartbeat before they even had a
Yeah.
chance to say, "Oh my God," it was all over with.
Yeah. No. If we were meant to swim, D, you'll have gills and wings. If we were meant to fly,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
thought, ain't it? Huh?
let me tell you, man.
Well, we were meant to.
I'm not a fan of flying. To be very honest with you.
I'm not a fan of all the crap you got to go through to have to go and set and take your shoes off and all that crap there. No, I just rather drive.
Yeah. If we were meant to drive, we'd have been born with wheels, okay?
Yeah.
See, I always felt like I could jump out a chopper better than I could an airplane if something happened.
Yeah.
Well, they're usually not as fast, but I don't know, man. Those big old freaking
Yeah.
guillotines above you. I'm
Yeah, the
like, "Ah!"
Vegematic. Yeah, the Vegematic right above you.
The Whopper chopper.
Get it. I'm
Now we
good.
know why they call it a chopper, because they chop you all
Everybody
up.
who wants to jump out of the chopper, raise their hand. Ooh, ooh. Oops. Oh, we're sick, man.
Meet me at the chopper.
That chopper. Yeah.
Yeah, 2-4 just flew to Vegas this year, so that
Yeah.
guy's got some mileage by. And by the way, 2-4, can you now, have you got to the point, has your health recovered to where you can have a beer?
Yeah. See, that's what I was asking.
That's
But
important.
he didn't mention nothing. So, or maybe I'm slow getting to the comments. Guess that, yeah, I don't know. It's just another thought, we basically, yeah.
I mean, I've seen I'm personal friends with that dude Brandon, and I see how he flies and what it looks like, and I get like almost motion sickness when I watch the videos. I'm like, whoa! I'm like, oh. I can't even imagine sitting in the seat next to him. I'd be like, dude, I need a puke bucket or something, dude. I'm gonna lose my lunch. You keep on riding, keep on flying like this.
You hate being on a plane. I don't mind the plane ride. I just don't like all the stuff that happens when you get stuck on the plane with somebody who's not very nice or sitting next to you, or they're changing and canceling flights, or you have to be on the hustle because you get in an airport, unless you're highly educated about how to fly, where to go, what the system is, what it means when this and that is. Who do you go talk to when you can't figure nothing out about how to connect with your connecting flight? What happens if they just decide, well, we're not going to get you to your destination. You'll have to fend for yourself, go find a motel in some strange town, spend a whole ton of extra money that you weren't. I mean, there's just endless scenarios of when you go flying that you better be prepared for.
Yeah. I mean, I've flown enough where I know what I'm doing,
Yeah. I don't.
No.
Even though I did it because I forget. And like you get there again, like when I went last time again with and things change over years. I don't fly every day.
Yeah, and I'm still apprehensive flying. I don't really like flying. It makes me anxious,
Yeah. I was always excited, especially my younger years, like this is going to be freaking great. I'm going to get to see the world from way up there and
it's
doing
cool.
something special,
Yeah, it's definitely cool and an experience, and I think it's really cool, but you're way up there, dude.
I don't even think of it like that. It's like crossing the bridge or the tunnel, it's like, well, they're there. We're going to be fine. That's what it's there for, it's be good. I guess you think about that when first time you hear that landing gear come out or come down, you hear that big tonk. You're like, well, why didn't nobody tell me about that? What's that?
When you hear the flaps extend.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good.
The flaps get extended or retracted. That makes noise.
Yeah, see?
All that stuff makes noise.
Ray, stay out of the airport. Unless you got to pick somebody up, just stay outside. Let them walk to you. Come to me. Come to me. Yeah. Come to Papa. The heart's doing a little better. That's awesome. Just cut back a little on the beer. Yeah. But a little bit. A little bit.
That's good.
Journey of Jerry. Welcome on in, man. Used to spray timber tracks in Arkansas with a helicopter, like the ones on the show MASH. What are timber tracks?
Huh.
Big chunks of forest, big tracts of timber.
Okay. Okay. Call them tracks then.
Yeah, like in the pulpwood, you have these big stands of timber,
Yeah.
tracts of timber, and the pulpwood industry, that's been planted.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
And were you spraying with like insecticides and stuff?
Yeah. Has anybody got the theme of MASH going through their head right now?
Oh yeah, big old bubble in the front.
Yeah.
Hot lips,
Yeah.
hooligan.
Hooligan. Yeah.
I think it's Houlihan, not
Hooligan.
hooligan.
Yeah. Hooligan.
Nobody wants to kiss hooligan.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Got MASH going through my head.
Yeah. Yeah, they had that on some YouTube thing I watched the other day, some of the most iconic things, and that was one of them that were, and like Sanford and Son too, the
That
Quincy
yeah.
Jones did that, I guess. And
good.
yeah, with the harmonica thing and all this stuff, and how that was one of the few that had no words, no nothing. Rockford Files too had no words though, and how it said so much for that show, which it did. Like, I guess, well, we got brainwashed into hearing it every time, so I don't know how much it really said for it, but after you watch the show and then you listen to the music, and it was just all very tied in.
Good morning, Buck Brown.
Yeah.
Morning, Buck.
I love flying. I want a hang glide as well. We would take the Healy on beer runs also. Yeah?
It's
Just-
definitely cool.
The beer was just on the runs to go get the beer, not beer and while you're running, right? I don't know. Who knows what goes on? That would be scary though, huh?
Oh, Buck Brown has a Sanford and Son connection.
Yeah, never even picked one up from the airport, so never, yeah. Love MASH. I did because it was there. It wasn't, I'd rather watch like Gilligan's Island and all that stuff but MASH was one of those kind of filler. Well, there's nothing else to watch. Gonna watch MASH, and it was okay. I wasn't like a, wow, I can't wait till MASH comes on type of guy, but
Yeah.
greetings, Earthlings. We were just talking about the old Buck.
I used to watch the Honeymooners every night.
Yeah.
Or after the news or whatever it was.
I couldn't believe when I got turned on to them. It's like the Stooges and stuff, funny shows. I couldn't believe how incredibly funny.
Yep. Or
I
Cheers.
thought the Honeymooners were when
I
you
love
really got
Cheers.
into them and watched them. Yeah.
Cheers too. I used to love Cheers.
Never
I
got
watched
into that.
Old.
Hey, what was the mailman's name in Cheers? Norm was,
Yeah.
but what was the mailman? He always had facts and figures,
Oh man.
Which show?
in Cheers.
Yeah.
They always said at the end of the bar, Norm and him, the
Mhm.
mailman, was always, and the mailman always had an answer for everything.
If I was president, he was always like, if I was president, I would have this all straightened right out, and I would do this, and this, and
Cliff Clavin, wasn't it?
Cliff, that's what it was. Cliff.
That's it. Oh man,
That's it.
I had to dig
Mac.
deep on that one.
Holy shit.
Oh,
my God, Mac, you nailed it.
I just used to love that show.
That's great.
Have a family bar where everybody knows your name.
Wait, what was that? I'm sorry, Rob.
Ooh.
The value brings to me. That's cool.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Which show were you talking about, Raymoto, that you weren't a fan of? MASH, when we was talking about MASH, or something else?
Which one?
Sanford and Son. Yeah.
I love Sanford and Son. I thought that was hysterical. Dude.
Oh yeah. As a kid growing up, Good Times was awesome.
Yeah, Good Times.
Mm-hmm.
Sanford and Son, I liked old Grady. Old Grady.
Grady. Yeah.
Him and Red Sanford, they'd get together and drink that champagne, champagne and Ripple.
Yeah.
That cheap ass Ripple wine.
Yeah, Ripple.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that before.
All in the
I
family.
liked it when he was going. Old Red Sanford is going to make
Yeah.
some gorilla cookies with ain't Esther Esther?
Esther.
Yeah, go make gorilla cookies.
Oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming, Elizabeth.
He's coming. He always with the
Oh,
heart attack.
Elizabeth.
He's always having the
It's a
big one.
big one.
It's the big one. It's the big one.
That's the big
Elizabeth.
one. He's always over dramatic about it. Yeah. And Lamont and a few of his cool friends.
Yeah,
every
Lamont
once
was
in a
always
while.
cool, man. I mean, he was
Yeah.
like always really cool, trying to help, kind of
Yeah.
guide his dad through life.
A little bit, yeah. That's kind of was his job, wasn't it?
And
He had a lot
when
of neat
George
shows.
Jefferson ended up over there at All in the Family with Carol O'Connor,
Yeah.
when he made the scene, it changed. All in the Family was pretty radical to start with, but when George Jefferson showed up, it was a whole new show.
Yeah.
He used to give.
Yeah.
Oh man, he was a handful.
Ooh.
Damn.
Another cup of frog.
Another cup of frog.
That was nice. Lolly came on the other night.
Yeah, that was cool. Cliff, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Cliff Bars?
Cliff
Who's
Clavin.
Oh, Cliff's the mailman?
The
Yeah,
mailman,
Cliff
yeah.
Clavin, the mailman. Yeah,
See?
Yeah, I love Shears
answer
too.
for everything. It wasn't necessarily always right, but he always had an answer.
Cliff Clavin.
Clavin. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Incredible Hulk was more my era, maybe our era. Yeah. Yeah. Emergency. That was kind of a neat show too. The ambulance.
Nice.
MASH.
Oh,
Yeah.
MASH.
Okay.
I love MASH, dude. I watched that for years.
He wasn't like a fan of it either. He was talking about it. Yeah. I mean, it was good. I watched it. It was. I'm more of like a Hogan's Heroes. Like I like that.
Well, I lived through that experience. My brother went to Korea in his first tour of duty. He went in 1952. He arrived over there, a young boy. He was
Yeah.
18 years of age, and his job was to put the bodies into bags.
Yeah.
That was a horrible war. It was a war everybody wanted to forget.
Yeah.
We all watched. I all watched all that. I watched Night Court. I watched Incredible Hulk. I watched Dukes of Hazzard. I watched All in the Family, and all that stuff. MASH, all that.
We had
Carol
no choice. We had
Burnett,
3 channels.
Johnny Carson. It was just crazy. It was all.
Did you like Heat of the Night?
It was all right.
The Heat of
Carol
the Night.
O'Connor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
had a southern flair to it,
Yeah. Wasn't the guy that I knew.
His main officer was Bubba.
I was waiting for Archie to come alive. It was like,
yeah,
that's not. I can't do it. He's being fake.
Yeah.
But he was a great actor. He was a good actor. I just didn't watch that one.
Archie is the best TV. My father was Archie Bunker, dude.
Yeah. You really? Yeah.
Yeah, my father was Archie Bunker. My mother was Edith, without a doubt.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Neat. Was Gesundheit. Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
No, I don't even think I'm bragging. I'm not. I just can't make this stuff
Buck's
up.
got a lot of stuff coming out, man.
Actually,
a lot of
true.
surprises. Everyone stay tuned for that. He's going to be doing some videoing and history telling and showing and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, MASH is awesome, bro. I like MASH.
Yeah.
Brings back, childhood memories, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Ralph Norton.
With Taxi, I used to watch Taxi,
To the Moon.
All kinds of stuff. The old Tom and Jerry, Woody the Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Ralph Norton was great TV husband. Yeah. To the moon, Alice. To the moon.
The military stuff about MASH was fine. It was the doctor's surgery stuff you didn't like. Yeah, I get into. Yeah. Oh, they had the
I
funny,
saw.
they
I
had the
saw.
drama, they had the
Yeah.
everything. It was like a multi-entertainment show. Go ahead, Mac. Sorry.
I saw a cartoon years later. The astronaut lands on the moon and he's looking around and he looks over and there's a skeleton laying there and it has a bracelet. And then
Yeah.
his eyes zooms in on a bracelet and it's Alice. She finally made it to the moon.
Oh yeah, Alice.
To the moon.
Yeah.
You know, he gets so
her out.
mad. That's what he had, anger issues, definitely. He
Yeah.
played off that throughout the whole series mostly. Benny Hill, yeah.
Yeah, Benny Hill.
In fact, that video that Wannabe saw yesterday had Benny
Maud.
Hill music in it when we was doing the fast cutting, when I put it in high
Yeah.
speed and we had fun doing that.
And you get
Yeah, I like
into
the
all
old
the old shows.
too, Ray. The old westerns and stuff.
Yeah.
Clint
Remember
Eastwood.
Maud came out before the Golden Girls. Probably was a kickoff. Remember Maud?
Oh yeah.
Mod.
Yeah. No.
No.
Sick. No.
Banana
It was-
Rap. Yeah.
The Golden Girls. She was in the
Oh, I
Golden
married
Girls.
a couple of mods.
Yeah. Maud.
Here I come to save the day.
Mm-hmm. Save
Yeah.
the day.
The Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
It's great.
Dropping out, prep work to do around here.
Did you get? Oh yeah. Did he get 2-4? Did you get the rotors?
Yeah.
If you're still here.
Bike report.
Yeah, bike report. You should
There is.
record that stuff, brother. You
Yeah.
should be making videos on that.
Three's Company was perfect. I loved it
Three's
growing up.
Company. Oh, that's another good one, Moto.
Yeah. Even
Buck
with
Brown.
both when they switched over and had what's his name instead of as the landlord, the Barney Fife.
Yes, yes.
He was a perfect fit too for that.
He was, dude.
It was like you miss Mr. Roper. He was classic, you
Yeah.
know, because when he said something clever, he had that shit-eating grin in the way he
Yeah.
thought he really said something smart, you know. And it wasn't really all that great, but
Yeah.
he was the only one enjoying himself.
Yep. Yeah, that smile. Bonanza.
Yeah.
I like Bonanza too, yeah.
Oh,
I don't remember Maud.
Maud.
Yeah, Maud. You would have remembered in Maud. Adrian Barbeau. Was it?
Her
She
name?
also in? No. The good-looking, heavy-breasted woman was Adrian Barbro or something like that.
Okay.
Good-looking woman was in Maud. That was Maud's daughter.
Oh,
Maud's daughter
right.
was played by
I didn't even remember
Adrian
that.
Barbeau.
I think her husband was like a recovering alcoholic or something weird, and that's why they were separated and divorced or something. And she was
She had a good-looking daughter in the
Huh.
in the video.
oh dang, you paid attention to the right stuff. I missed
All
that.
the good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's called eye candy.
might have been a little too young.
Yeah.
Can't imagine.
yeah,
that.
that's right.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
too young.
poor Sicky was just a youngster. That kind of stuff. Well, actually, when you're young, that has a great appeal to a young boy.
Sure does. Hi, Asia.
I wasn't too young for Charlie's Angels, so
No, I was not
No.
too young for that.
no.
Ever.
Hello, Asia
How are you?
from
She
Alabama.
was a Golden Girl. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Alabama, man, Alabama.
She's your fellow Alabama.
Yeah.
Feller.
Is
There's
that
another weird fun fact. Way before I was born, when my mom was single, she used to date Tex Ritter's drummer. Tex Ritter is John Ritter, Jack Tripper on Three's Company's dad.
Yeah, that's right. Tex
Yeah.
Ritter was an old cowboy back in the day. Tex
Yeah.
Ritter.
He sounds very familiar. I remember. Mm-hmm. Back in the boxcar Willie days. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
I always thought he was interesting. The hobo, kind of like he played, wasn't it? Boxcar got his name from Hoboing around on.
Yeah. Maud ended up in the Golden Girls, but she had her own show. Maud had
Before
a
it.
show. Yeah.
before
She was a star of it by herself. Her and
Yeah.
I can tell you, her daughter was, in my eye, was the star.
Yeah.
But she was a beautiful woman. Really, she grew out to turned
You
out to
got
be
me
a
wanting to
real
look
pretty woman.
that up now.
Yeah, look up Adrienne Barbeau. I don't know how you spell that last name, but
Let's see.
she was Maud's daughter in the video.
I do not understand why my sugar is so high. I'm going to start giving myself random doses of insulin.
TV show on the family. Later. Wow, did you know that? I said that in the
No,
TV
what
show
kind?
All in the Family and later the spin-off Maude, Finley's daughter, Carol. Oh. Wow. Yeah, okay. Was originally portrayed by the actress Marcy. Okay. I just looked it up and it said I didn't know it had any was Maude. I kind of remember maybe her being on All in the Family. Like, you know how
Yeah.
they have those certain guests once in a while. I know they had the Jeffersons were on there, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
Did you get to see Adrienne Barbeau?
Yes, I just ran into it now.
Ain't she a good
Born
looking woman? Black hair, them
Yep.
dancing dark eyes.
born in 45.
Yeah.
Copy. I tried
So,
to get-
James,
Oh, I remember her now.
Yeah, you remember.
Yeah.
You never looked at her face before, did you?
Oh, that's not how I recognized.
Oh, really?
I didn't recognize her by her face.
No.
The high beams gave it away.
Cadillac bumper.
Cadillac bumper. No, I remember her now. I didn't
There she is. Look at that. Look at that red blouse. The gray blouse.
yeah.
Or the black blouse. Or the striped blouse. Oh my God.
oh, yeah.
Not even talking about the blouses, Mac.
No.
What are you talking
Of
about?
course, I'm into
Those are just
fashion.
supporter.
I'm into fashion.
Hey? Hey?
Yeah.
Oh, perverts we are. Oh, yeah. Now, she was a golden girl, right? There's, what's her name?
I always said that was my sister Connie right there.
Yeah.
That one,
And this
the
is
one that was
Maude.
always getting a little action. There's Maud.
Yep.
Blanche, yeah. That's
Blanche.
great. That's funny, man.
Man, I love the way you can bring this stuff up, so quick like that.
To reflect on things. It is nice, man.
That's great.
A little memory lane stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like I said, you only had 3 channels in the day, so whether you like stuff like this or not at the time, you learned to like what you like, and that's what we had, and it
Yeah.
wasn't a big selection, so.
You
And
watched
come midnight, you were done watching TV,
Yeah.
11 o'clock, midnight, you watched Flies.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd stare at them,
You used
too,
to
like,
watch
see anything?
Tim the Toolman Taylor, and then what else did I used to watch?
Mhm.
The A-Team.
That's good one of Jessica.
Classic, dude.
He was
Yeah,
fascinated.
Mr. T.
The
I
A-Team.
pitied the fool. I pitied the fool.
The
The
Fool.
A-Team.
I love that guy.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Blanche. There you go.
Yeah, they always had to drug Mr. T to get him on the airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pity the fool that gotta knock me out. That airplane ride.
Yeah.
Toxicarius.
great.
Who is Toxicarius?
That's
I don't know.
Paris. What's up, Chris? How are you, man? Good to see you. How's
There.
that?
Oh, right above him. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I missed it.
How
Sorry,
are you?
man.
How's things
Somebody y'all know. I don't know you, Chris, but
Yeah.
howdy.
Well, hello, Chris.
He's been to pretty much all the camp outs.
Okay.
Now, Chris is one of those names that could
That's
be
good to know.
girl or boy. So, 'cause there's
Yeah.
no face there. So,
Yeah, let us know.
we don't
man.
know exactly how to approach you. If you're a girl,
He's a
well,
big
good
dude.
morning,
We need the
ma'am. I'm
gender
happy to
reveal.
have you.
He's a
If
big
you're a
teddy
guy,
bear.
like, yo, what's
It's
happening?
brown and
dude?
gray. It's a dude.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been pink.
He's ginormous. He makes me look small, put it that way.
Is he? Yeah. Well, I'm going to start talking nice now because we're
Yeah.
making no wisecracks about nothing anymore. Just how big a feller are you? Remember Ray D. Mercer?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
How big of a
like,
fella
Just
are
how
you?
big a feller are you before I
Roy
start
D.
popping off
Mercer,
at the
wasn't it?
mouth?
Roy, wasn't it Roy B. Mercer or something
Roy
like
D.
that?
Mercer, maybe
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
You remember when his dog eat all the Viagra pills?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I wouldn't want to piss him off, you know.
He done humped everybody's animal
he
in
was
the
a pointer.
neighborhood.
Huh?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, some good
It
stuff.
is.
Good times. Oh,
Yeah. Home Improvement. Texas Ranger. Yep. He-Man cartoon. He-Man.
Oh, Chris is the fellow that donated his Dana.
Yeah, American Graffiti Spawn shows. You know, we watched that Chasing Ghosts the other night. I had my daughter and son-in-law watch that, and I was bragging it up because I remember watching it. I thought it was so good, but when we watched it, I was there with them. I'm going, man, these guys, they got to be bored out of their skull compared to today's standards of movies. But it's a good reflection, and I guess because I grew up with a lot of those characters that were there, and Harrison Ford was in there. He drove that badass 55 Chevy looking for Hilner, what was his name? Milner. Trying to, they had the yellow T coupe, you know. And you know, it's what it was like running around in town, you know, hanging out with girls and vice versa, and they're just all having good times, and racing was involved, the cops were there, you know, and just typical teenage show. And
my dad told me in Bergen County, because my dad grew up in Bergen County also, and grew up in Westwood. I went to Westwood High School, and you know, same high school I went to, but a different building.
Those are good.
And he used to say when he was a teenager and before he went to the service and everything, they would what would they call it? They would
True that.
They would do the whatever. They would ride the strip. They would do Kinderkamak Road from Hackensack McDonald's all the way up to the New York State line in Montvale, turn around and come back down. And they would run that all night long, Saturday night and Friday night, and you know. But they would call it something. I forget what they would call it.
Yeah. Well, Chris donated a motorcycle, so kudos to you, bro. It's more than I've ever done.
Yeah, Chris has donated some bikes.
Yeah, that's an important fact.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I was just going to go back to what Tara was saying. I remember that the show came out and then spawned so many like Happy Days, Mel's Diner, Mork and Mindy, and all those spin-offs in the old days, right? And she says today they try to copy that and it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
What you notice, like how many versions of Superman have we seen in all these here? Like every time they upgrade and try and redo something that's been done 1,000 times, I mean, they're still making money off the same old things, you know. But I guess we want to see them. Apparently, I'm like Superman. We got a new Superman. I never liked when they changed characters and got a new Superman. It was like hard to accept.
I didn't even like it when they switched characters in Bewitched. You remember when the guy,
husband?
Yeah. They had to
Darren?
change him. Oh, Darren, yeah.
Yes.
That was hard to get used to.
You don't do that. You don't do that. That's illegal. They did that in the Munsters too. You remember that? The blonde lady, their normal child.
Yeah. Mhm.
She got switched twice. And it was one of those you never really noticed too much. I was trying to remember that big character where there was the Roman. They were gladiators. Was it a series called Gladiators? I don't remember. He changed that mid character dude to the main guy, and I didn't even really notice.
Cruising. That's what it was. Cruising.
Cruising, yeah.
Cruising the strip. That's what it
Go
was.
cruise. You want to go cruise? That's what you did.
Yeah, you would cruise the strip, and that was the strip, Kinderkamak Road. It was a long strip. It went through like 6 towns, 7 towns. It went through, let me see, from Hackensack, you went through River Edge.
Mm.
You went through Oradell, then Emerson, then Westwood, then Hillsdale, then Woodcliff Lake, then Park Ridge, and then Montvale, and then you would turn around and go through all of them again back down to Hackensack.
There's no originality no more. No.
You guys remember the early
And-
shows, 77 Sunset Strip?
Mm-mm.
Cookie, lend me your comb. Yeah, that was a show,
Sunset
77 Sunset Strip.
No.
Cookie Eddie Burns was a Cookie, and he appeared in a lot of shows.
Yeah.
But it was a really good show. 77 Sunset Strip was, of course, about Hollywood and fast cars and pretty women.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah, Buck, I was always a fan of the Fast and Furious, and even though a lot of people didn't like that they had so many, I still got excited and look forward to the next one because, Vin Diesel's in it.
Graffiti? What was that movie?
Freaking great. Graffiti, didn't we just talk about American Graffiti?
Oh, American Graffiti. That's
Ron Howard.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah, and
Where they
couple
tied the
others.
chain to the rear end of that vehicle and it drove off and pulled
Yeah,
the
the
rear
cop
axle
car.
out. Yeah.
he did that to the cop car. When he went to take off and chase somebody, he yanked him.
Yeah.
That was real stuff. That's what we're supposed to do when we're kids, because I was young then. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that's what we're going to do. We'll do that one day. What did she say up here? Tara said something, I think. What was that? Oh, yeah, American History X, one of the finer movies made. Brutal, but a great. It's one that we all should learn from. Like, that should be the stuff you find out in school about. Definitely separate your racism, because what was it kind of like the moral of the story is you can be racist all you want, but when your ass goes to jail and you need some help, you'll lower your imaginary standards to what you were racist against, and the guy saved your life. That's kind of what happened, right? And then all the other drama that went in with it, but that was like the gist of the story. Did you ever see that, Mac? American
Yeah.
History X? Yeah, okay. Well, if that was the gist of the story, at least I thought it was.
Oh, damn it. Hope,
Is it because the main dude died from cancer?
I feel bad if
I don't
Sterling's
know. Main dude to what? Spartacus. Oh, that's what I was talking about, Rob. Man, you're sharp. You had
Yep,
razor soup
Spartacus.
this morning.
Oh my god.
Originality disappeared when they banned Dukes of Hazzard just because of the flag on the roof of the car. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that flag flowing up here up north and out in the country a lot. And big, huge flag, too, those. They call them rebel flags or
Yeah.
what's Confederate?
Confederate flag.
Yeah. I always think that's just neat and ballsy all at the same time because, I don't know, I never knew why it was what it was. To me, it just meant you were a rebel, a badass or something, I really never grew up with the history of it and being told of what it was. Like it symbolized something other than just what I thought it was.
It's a sad thing to see. When we came up, that flag was symbolic of patriotism
Yeah.
You know, it was a part of Americana, the history of America itself, you know, and
Gas
as
station.
time went by, the movie makers turned the Confederate flag into an evil, nasty, only represented the evil, dark side of America.
Hmm.
It represented the dregs of the earth, and always it showed toothless looking scumbags carrying the flag and stuff like
Oh,
that. But
Yeah.
that sort
changing
of
the image.
tainted the image in my mind of how
Yeah.
when we was young there was a war,
Mm,
and you can't
Yeah.
deny that it was a war between American citizens. You know,
Yeah.
a civil war,
Yeah.
and a- and it ended the way it ended, but it's still a flag that had a tremendous amount of
Great
history
movie. Yeah.
and stuff, you know. But then they turned it into something nasty, you know. You know,
Yeah.
when you're waving
Yeah.
one now, you know, you have to be a toothless gun carrying some
Yeah.
kind of a badass, you know. But that ain't the
Yep.
way it was. They was some real
Uneducated, like,
genuine.
you know, there's smart people
Yeah,
and dumb people type syndrome. And if you're an idiot, this is what, you know, you might be redneck or whatever.
I fly this one right over here because after it was all over with, when the smoke died down, this one right here was once again united. We become a stronger nation.
Yeah.
That war, even though it cost hundreds of thousands of lives, we became a stronger nation. Our country was tested by fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Mm,
I wonder why that is, huh? I mean, like when you look at what Sterling said, I just wonder why that is.
I
yeah.
missed what you said. Oh, okay.
You know, Low Rider got clout, or they just trying to work over the LGB, whatever that stands
Yeah.
for. I forget, but I don't know. Oh,
It's weird.
it is representing giving the middle finger to. Yeah, so that's exactly it, Buck. Exactly. A bit of a rebel, you know, sticking it to the man.
Nona
Nona
Grace,
Hello,
Grace.
Miss Nona.
See,
how are
I
you?
can't picture Nona Grace with the rebel flag and sticking it to the
Uh,
you know,
Oh my
he has
god.
he has
yeah, her carrying the flag, hollering,
Oh,
"Take
pure
this, blue
image.
bellies!"
Oh my god. I got a visual on that one, Moto.
I know.
Yeah.
Nona's awesome, though, you know, so it's like that's why it seems so radical, because she's
Oh,
peaceful.
that's great.
Most of us, even in the South, are so poorly educated that they call the battle flag the Confederate flag. It never
Yeah.
flew over the Confederacy. It was used by the Klan and the
Man.
Dixiecrats 70
Yeah.
years later.
Yeah.
See,
That's right. That's what I'm
you
saying. It took on a bad
have
connotation, you
knowledge.
know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's media influence, right?
they distort it and they manipulate, you know, the
Yeah.
truth.
That was the media's purpose, I think, and like it still
Yeah.
is today. You know,
But take
do
a
this
look
because
at
this is what the general consensus thinks and is like, and if not, you're an oddball. If
Yeah.
you think any different than us, I mean, we're here on TV telling you like it really is. We're the know-all.
well,
Yeah.
take a look at Six Flags over Texas. One of those flags represented taking a country away from another country, taking its land from the Mexican people or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And yet nobody turned that into a nasty thing, you know. That was a
Right.
part of history,
Wow.
you know. With the great battles we had,
I know.
but
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they didn't try to turn that into something
Yeah.
too, you know.
If only they taught history like that, like when you're in history class, to make it interesting, like how we're talking about it, you know, like what are
Yeah.
the real views of it and stuff, instead of just saying, well, this is that, and that's how I heard history was blah. There was nothing ever made fun for me about it. I was like, history, that was in the past. I don't need to, you know, what's that for? Looks so much
And
like
if you
America.
notice in the modified history, the fact that there was an economical issue to the war, they just wanted to lay that off to one side. They want to turn it into just a one-sided reason the war was for one reason, but in reality, there was an economical issue. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, the South had the cotton and the North wanted the cotton,
Yeah.
and Yeah, a lot of nobody
Money,
wants to look at
power, and
both sides of
greed.
the story.
You know, they were building America, trying to.
And I'm going to tell you, the people that went to war never owned a slave. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
They never owned a slave. They were just farmers.
yeah.
Disgusting.
Let's see. The first. Let me hit that. There we go. The first flag of the Confederacy looked too much like the American flag. It was replaced by the stainless banner. Then the blood-stained banner, and the blood-stained banner is way more racist. You know your history, Ghost. Well, I'm going to assume you do. I'm just reading it and assuming you are on spot. You have been with most things, so I'm no judge of that. Just saying. It sounds more than I know. When the grandma died in 93, she still owns 6 Tommy guns she bought new from a Sears catalog. No kidding,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the mafia type stuff.
No, you could buy all your guns from
Sears?
Sears in the day, and they'd ship them out to you.
I don't even remember that.
'cause
Sorry, I
we
muted
I
you.
lived through
Sick.
it.
You're on mute, Sick. Yeah, it's sad that a lot of symbols or objects get
know that.
associated with bad things. So now you can't use them. Like this swastika, it's actually a rune and was used for good fortune and
Oh, absolutely.
prosperity.
Did you
Mhm.
know in some of the earlier movies there was swastikas on the Indians' teepees
Yeah,
because of the goodness that it represented, not the evil
yeah,
thing that was associated with
yeah,
Nazism.
yeah. You think it's like that's the worst, you know. They killed, you know, they exterminated like tons of people, and that symbol is associated with that.
Yeah. It's a
I
matter
mean,
of what's associated.
kind of get that banning that one. You know, I
You know.
wouldn't want to have that in my face either, I guess, but just different points of views. How you doing, Evil Rick? Good morning, afternoon. What is it? Yeah, I'm ready to make me some breakfast shortly. So
Yeah, I'm gonna make some French toast.
that sounds yummy. I'm gonna put some biscuits in the oven and open some canned gravy with little bits of sausage in it from Harris Teeter, and then I bought my own Jimmy Dean sausage that I'll make and spice it up even better.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah,
I like that spicy Jimmy Dean sausage.
Yeah.
I like to make gravy with it.
Well, that's what I went and bought last night after the duct tape show or whatever we did. And so I got so hungry. Everybody's talking about gravy and food, and Sterling sent some killer pictures of a steak, and yeah.
I got a fresh head of cabbage in there, and it's destined to be in the pot this week.
Yeah. I went through a
Corned
cabbage.
beef and cabbage. Oh,
2 nights in a row I had it because somebody brought it up. So I went out and bought cabbage, had cabbage 2 nights in a row. Sausage that I could find, good sausage. The first time I made it, I forgot to put the potato in it. That's why I went and made a second pot because I had to go make it right. It
I
was
like the
good.
little new potatoes. You know, those is about the size of a golf ball. You can cut them in quarters, little
Yeah.
chunks. You know, the red potato.
And you're done. One and done.
Mm.
Morning, Evil Rick.
Yeah. Frenchie. Who is Frenchie?
Yeah, I'm gonna make
Frenchie.
French toast.
No, in a show. You remember that, Frenchie?
Frenchie.
Is that a show from a show?
I don't know.
Or I don't know too. It sounds like we should know something about that, right? Love
Hey,
cabbage
Evil.
with pasta. Now I don't know if I've had pasta with the cabbage before. Tell us about that.
Cabbage is good.
Oh, that sounds so Italian.
From Greece, that's what it was. That's what I kept on saying. I kept on saying Greece inside of my head just before too. I was like Frenchie.
Frenchie.
I was
Okay,
Greece.
from the movie, yeah.
I'm like, is that it? What it is?
Oh yeah, Frenchie from Greece. Yeah.
Thank you.
what
I
it
was
is.
dying over here. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bring up any subject, and there's these people here. And they
Yeah.
know
Oh
stuff.
yeah. We all do.
Well,
That's what's-
we all work together. Our
Oh, that's
brains
what's
are
fun.
pulsing like one.
Mm-hmm. That's what's always good. Like one day I was like, I want to do a little live like what we're doing here, but get my stack of albums if somebody else has some albums and go through music. And that brings back not only memories and genres and stuff, times in your life, and what you did on that day when you first heard this album. And I got stuff that my mom had that she handed down, old Johnny Cash and Sly and the Stone, whatever that was. I forgot how that one went. I remember the name, Iron Butterfly. These are, and I got the old original Cheech and Chong album with the big old quarter-pound paper still in there. Perfect. I don't know why I pride that. Since nobody's has that paper no more, I'm sure everybody used it.
I'm still
Except
thinking
me.
about cabbage and
Except
pasta.
you.
Do
That's
you do you use the like the shell noodles or elbow noodles or
Yeah.
what do you use in the cabbage? Whatever it is,
No,
sounds good to me.
that's what I was asking.
yeah.
We want to know more. I shred cabbage and use as a pasta substitute. Yeah. Yeah, if you're trying to cut down on the old pasta because you got pasta, pasta fluff like I do. Can't type that
Oh.
fast. Yes, Grease. I know.
It's like
Yeah.
slapping a it's
Playing the
like
bongo.
sound like slapping a pig.
Slapping the pig. That sounds like a good smacker.
Oh, this one has a kind of like a reverb because there's another mic sitting right over there.
Yeah.
It's sitting right over
Picking
there,
it up.
and listen to a little bit of delay. There's a little bit of delay between the two mics.
You got slap back.
Yeah, slap back. Baby got back.
Baby got slap back. Whoa. Battle flag is
Oh,
religious.
she uses broken spaghetti. Look at that.
Okay.
Now
It's
we know.
Religious based by largely Scottish immigrants. The cross on it is still on the Union Jack and the Scottish flag. The red is the blood of Christ. It's St. Andrew's cross. That was the one you was talking about earlier before it looked a lot like the American flag at some point. We need to go be looking that stuff up, really. Just beat you to it. Yes, you did.
I wonder if that's the reason they call them the bloody British.
Stream playing records.
The blood on the flag. Is that the reason they call them bloody British?
The bloody British.
Why, by Jove, you wanker! You're a bloody British, you wanker.
Yeah. Should just break it up before you cook it, I would imagine. It's easier. Well, you could chop it up after it's cooked too, I'm sure.
Oh, you just take your hand and just break off the
crush it, crumbled sketty.
I try to not break it.
Oh, I cook mine in long lengths too. And I'll tell you why I do this. My little old dog will sit over there and I'll get me the longest spaghetti strand I can get.
Exactly.
And he'll take his mouth and sit there and eat right down to your fingers.
Yeah. It's just funny to watch.
Uh-huh.
Once I learned the joy of peanut butter and slapping it up on the roof of the dog's mouth for my own personal entertainment. I got to do that again. That's just too funny to watch. Like you're torturing the poor thing, but it's just funny. Yeah. All right. What else you do with the cabbage then? If you have cabbage and pasta, what kind of meat do you use? A meat in it, or any type of broth, like chicken, beef broth? What? Tara is correct. That's why I said go look up Civil War historian H.K. Edgerton. He covers a lot about it. Yeah, I missed that. Yeah, well, I would, but it's getting late.
Yeah, I'm going to start cooking.
Yeah, when I make it for the kids, I put cheese American in it.
I'm getting hungrier and hungrier.
Yeah, I know. If you keep bringing up the food, we'll be shutting down real fast. Wannabe Farmstead, are you guys on Instagram or Facebook? That's a good question.
Meat.
Never
don't
seen
put
them
any meat in it.
No meat.
No meat.
No meat Monday.
Jim was a lucky guy. He's got Miss Nona Grace there to fix all these delightful meals. And it gives me ideas when I hear her talking about stuff. I have to try it.
No meat pasta water. What do you do to season it up with some flavor? I'm asking a lot of questions, Nana. I'm sorry. Don't feel obligated to answer me. I'm interested in it. That's
You
all.
don't answer pretty quick, Nona. We're gonna put the big bright lights on.
Yeah.
We'll sweat it out of you. We'll get the information.
Uh,
That's our job. That's what we're here for. That's the reason there's three of us.
Interrogating that information
Three
out
of
of
us
you.
just to take on Nona Grace.
Yeah.
All right. You're gonna fess up, sissy.
Takes 3 of us.
We
And-
play the good guy, the bad guy cops. We bring in sick when me and
Yeah.
Mother can't get the truth out of it. We bring the sick in.
yeah.
We're full of manipulation here. Let's see.
Salt
Salt
the
the cabbage. Cabbage is German fried. Wow. See, there's a lot to this.
I even like fried spaghetti.
So we have to fry. Well, what is good? Fried macaroni. Like I would go out of my way to boil up the box of macaroni in a box, say like Kraft, make it, let it set, and then go and refry it and get the crispness. So you would get
Oh,
it
I love
crisp
that
on
too.
the edges and stuff like that, especially when I had the munchies. And I just totally loved that. And especially it was good if you actually could leave it in the fridge overnight and redo it and then fry it.
I
It
had
is
fried spaghetti for
frickin'
supper
great.
last night. Oh,
You had
that
what?
was so good. I had fried spaghetti. I put
Spaghetti?
some olive oil in the skillet, got it good and hot, and then took
Wow.
that leftover spaghetti and put it in that olive oil. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
You get a few crunchy hard places in
Yeah,
it. and
yeah, you
stuff
let
like
it
you
fry,
like
man.
hash browns or something. I love that. Frying is the way to go. As long as you're using like some good grease. Don't use the motor oil. That's what
Yeah,
they say some of that Wesson oil is and vegetable oil that's so bad for you. You know, you don't want to use that. You want to save your bacon grease, save your tallow, get your fat from animal.
Rick, you know, down there in that little town car in New Orleans in 1814, you know, we fired our cannons till the barrel melted down. Then we grabbed an alligator and we fought another round. We filled his head of cannonballs and powdered his behind. When we touched that powder off, the gator lost his mind.
Mine. That's great. See, now you can put that one in a song, Mac. You
I
wrap
already
it out.
did.
Yeah,
Already
I
did.
just did.
Uh,
You know what I meant. The
I
Suno.
switched mine over to a possum.
Yeah, Nana's in agreement with you on the pasta. So I need to cook something for my cooking channel, but I'm broke. Man, you're the one that turned me on to putting spam in something. I forgot what it was, and what was it normally? Oh, fried
Spam and rice.
fried rice.
Oh, that's good. Spam and fried rice. And you know
Yes.
what? Angelique's always looking for me a new kind of spam, and she found jalapeno and bacon spam. Oh, you talking about good.
There you
put
go.
that, you chop up that you chop that up and put it in rice,
Yeah.
fried rice. It just brings out all that heat and flavor.
So we always save like bacon grease. That's pretty common
Yep.
knowledge. Like when you get stuff from your burger, say you're doing the patties, and if you don't spice it and all, just fry your burger raw. Can you save that tallow,
Sure.
that fat? And that's something though you need to refrigerate. Like bacon, you really don't. But I don't know.
We save it in a separate container from the bacon, tallow grease. We save the tallow over in another jar, and we
Yeah.
put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And then we ladle out some and put it and heat it up in the microwave to
Spread
add
it,
it
whatever.
to stuff.
Add. Yeah.
That beef has a different flavor. Beef grease is just
Oh yeah,
different.
it is. Like I know you go to buy that stuff, you can get duck and any type of grease you want. Really, I didn't think the duck would be that great, but and
Goose
different
grease.
animals, yeah, goose grease. But
You know, you remember what was that meatloaf? We used to have a duck loaf. What was that called? The duck loaf. It was a sandwich spread. You cut it, and it was made with like duck pate. You know, pate. Really a good seasoned loaf.
yeah,
Duck loaf. What was that stuff called?
yeah.
You could get it back in the old days when you go to the grocery store and you had all your blocks of meat out there, and they would slice you off.
Somebody's gonna come up with it.
olive loaf.
There was an olive loaf, yeah.
I
it
do
was a
love
loaf
that.
that had some. I did too.
My favorite. You don't see that no more hardly, do you? Olive
Mm.
loaf. Like
I remember liver loaf.
bologna?
I really like that.
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
They have,
like-
and
That's
you
good
got
on cracker and
olive.
cheese.
yeah, if you got some good cheese to go with liverwurst, you can make a
Cracker
meal
and-
out of that.
Yeah, it's good. Better than summer sausage. Yeah. So somebody liked your songs there. Nana was saying. I was hanging out to tell you that. I use the drippings a lot. Fry up the meat. Use the drippings. Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, I'm gonna have to start cooking.
Yeah, I know. The general census, though, tells you, right? That's what I grew up
Oh.
learning was you don't want to use that fat or you don't want to use that bacon fat to call you. That's going to give you cholesterol. You're going to die from doing all that stuff. When in actuality, the substitute oils that they sell, the canola oils and the Western oils and all that, that's the toxic, dangerous stuff. At least
Well,
that's what I've heard. This is just entertainment purposes. Don't
Yeah.
look at me.
but-
I've been eating it for years, and you can see I'm about to die any day now. At
Ooh, how's that?
85 years
You're
old,
looking
all that
crispy.
grease and oil and bacon fat. And
You're looking
I'm
crispy.
on the verge of. Let me check right now. I'm still with you.
Yeah. You can feel those arteries clogging up as we speak.
Yeah.
I can hear them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make your own kraut. Oh,
Look,
that's
I
great.
only have a few years left. I can tell the way it's starting to set in on me.
To blurp the jar, yeah. I need a well vented jar, yeah. Tallow's great if you render it properly. You can keep it on the counter, but it will go rancid if you leave water or meat bits in it. And they kind of say that with bacon as well. I always strain it and pour it out. And sometimes I just keep a habit, throw it in the fridge. Fridge is not that far to walk, just in case.
What's that?
All right. Cook with almond
When we
oil.
filled up the
Essential.
deep fryer with peanut oil or something like that, we don't waste that. I run it through my strainer. I put it in a container and it goes in the refrigerator. I just don't leave it sitting out.
Yep.
And then I just ladle out some when I need it. And I've used it for that away for years.
Queen. I like how you spelled queen, Nana.
Yeah.
That's
Queen.
great.
That's awesome.
Spam fried rice is the dish you were thinking. Yes, exactly was. See?
Yeah.
I
We
watch
love-
your chicken coach. I don't see you much more, but that's fine.
All right.
Spam fried rice. Yeah, I know. You can try to stop this thing. We just keep yammering.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I'm gonna push buttons.
Fix the train. All right. Throw
And,
on the brakes.
Nona Grace is the pasta
You
queen.
got the.
Here's the
Let's
pasta.
hear it for the pasta queen.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Sorry, that's your sign. That's your sign. We're leaving.
Thanks,
That was
everybody.
wrong.
So
Hasta la
long.
vista,
See you
baby.
tomorrow morning as well.
Did my sister Joyce just say something?
Oh man. Thanks.
See, when
Chris.
you read that from Evil Rick, you know it's the end of the show, okay? Be bad or at least don't get caught being good, all right? See y'all
There
later.
you go.
So
We
long,
love that. Bye, Nana. Thanks for coming in. Bye, Raymoto.
everybody.
Everybody,
Bye bye.
Gary,
Love you guys.
Chris.